Okay, so guys, we were doing the subordinate clause yesterday. So subordinate clause, we have already understood that it's a dependent kind of a clause. So it depends upon the principal clause to convey the complete sense of the message. For example, the boy is my best friend. Then it's this in itself is a complete sentence, right? So if I write whose uncle is a police inspector, this is a dependent clause. So now writing again only whose uncle is a police inspector does not suggest us anything. So that is why we can say subordinate is a dependent clause. What are the various kinds of subordinate clauses? There are primarily three kinds of subordinate clauses. What are they? The adjective, the adverbs, and the noun clause. If you remember, even the phrases have these three kinds. So we start off with the adjective clause first. What is an adjective clause? An adjective clause is a clause that usually comes after the noun which it modifies and is made up of several words which, like all clauses, will include a subject and a verb. So adjective, it expresses an particular adjective. विशेषण विशेषता बताती है किसी पर्टिकुलर चीज के बारे में, दैट इज एन एडजेक्टिव क्लॉज. What can be the examples of this adjective clause? Here are some examples of adjective clauses. The carpets have rotted. This in itself is a complete sentence. But if I give it an adjective to this, that you have bought last year have rotted. So the carpets that you have bought last year have rotted. The follies which a man regrets most in his life are those which he did not commit when he had the opportunity. Bore, a person who talks when you wish him to listen. Right? So these are all adjective examples for adjective clauses. What can be the components for an adjective clause? An adjective clause is also called a relative clause. It will have the following traits. What all traits? It will start with a relative pronoun. If you remember the relative pronouns, what does the relative pronoun suggest? Or it starts with who, whom, whose, that, or which, right? So who, whom, whose, that, which, these are the relative pronouns. Or the relative adverbs when, where, why. So relative pronouns are the pronouns that show some sort of relationship with the others. This links it to the noun that it is modifying. Quite often, the relative pronoun can be omitted. However, with an adjective clause, it is always possible to put one in. So if there is an adjective clause, we need to put a relative pronoun. For example, here we have already put a relative adverb. So we can put the relatives. Okay. Which, that. So these are all relatives. So we need to put them on. It will have a subject and a verb. We all understand this, that the adjective clauses will always include a subject and a verb, and it will tell us something about the noun. नाउन के बारे में हमें कुछ बताता है, इसीलिए हम उसको एडजेक्टिव कहते हैं. नाउन मतलब जो ह्यूमन है, जो नेचर है, जो नेम है, उसकी कुछ विशेषता बताता है, समथिंग important for that noun. That is why we call it an adjective. I have a cat with brown eyes. This is an adjective phrase. I have a cat which, we have used relative pronoun here, has brown eyes. So it becomes adjective clause. So what can we say? An adjective clause is also called as a relative clause, is a dependent clause that modifies the noun or a pronoun. It tells us which one or what kind of it. The adjective clause almost always come after the nouns that they modify. So noun जो modify करते हैं उसके बाद आती हैं ये. There is the mountain that we are going to climb. My blue tennis shoes, which used to be my mom's, were under the bed. Daniel, who was late again today, sits next to me in English class. So using the dependent clauses is a way of combining the sentences. For example, Daniel was late again today. So this is a sentence plus Daniel sits next to me in English, right? So what it becomes? It becomes a, after combining both these sentences, it becomes Daniel, comma, who was late again today, sits next to me in English class. So we have already discussed about relative pronouns otherwise. So adjective clause generally begins with a relative pronoun, that, which, who, whom, whose, that connects the clause to the noun or pronoun that it modifies. The relative pronoun shows the relationship between the clause and the antecedent. So clause or antecedent में relationship express करता है. For example, this was the sentence. So there is the mountain that we are going to climb. Antecedent क्या है? Mountain. That connects the clause we are going to climb that with the antecedent. So mountain के साथ connect करता है. My blue tennis shoes, which used to be my mom's. So my blue tennis shoes जो मेरे मदर के हैं, जो मेरे मदर के हुआ करते थे, were under the bed. So antecedent क्या है? Shoes. Now, which is a pronoun replacing the shoes in the dependent clause? Shoes used to be my mom's and relating it to the subject to the of the independent clause. Daniel, who was late again today, sits next to me in English. इस केस में एंटीसीडेंट क्या है? डैनियल. हु क्या है? डैनियल के बारे में बात कर रहा है. सो द डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज मींस डैनियल वाज लेट अगेन टुडे. सो यहां पे जो हु लिखा हुआ है, इट मींस डैनियल ओनली. Who is replacing the Daniel in the second clause and relating it to the subject of the independent clause. The relative pronouns has a grammatical function in the sentence. There is the mountain that we are going to climb. That is the direct objective of the infinitive, to climb. So infinitive, यहाँ पे infinitive आता है. So if I say my blue tennis shoes, which used to be my mom's, were under the bed, which is the subject of the verb used? Daniel, who was late again today, sits next to me. So who क्या है? Subject of the dependent clause. यहाँ पे ये dependent clause का subject है who, right? So यहाँ पे which क्या था? Subject of the verb जो हमने use किया है. There are students who are going. So who? Subject हो गया. These are the students who are going. So they are going. Those are the students for whom I bought the tickets. Whom? Object है, purpose है of the preposition for. For का object है. These are the students I bought the tickets for whom. I bought the tickets for them. So with understood pronouns. Sometimes the relative pronoun is understood and not written in the sentence. Have you seen the book I lost? Have you seen the book that I lost? Right? So adjective clause with a relative pronoun. The teacher I had in 5th grade easily inspired me. The teacher whom I had in the 5th grade really inspired me. Okay? So prepositions के साथ हम क्या करते हैं? If the relative pronoun is the object of a preposition and is left out, the preposition has no choice but to dangle. So informal में, spoken English में हम इसको सही मानते हैं. It is fine in spoken English to end the clause with the preposition. What are you doing this thing for? So you have ended the preposition, you have ended the sentence with a preposition for. What for are you doing this? What are you doing this for? Right? So you have ended it with for. However, in formal English, it is better to put the preposition always before the pronoun. preposition is part of the dependent clause always. हमेशा ये dependent clause का ही part होगा. So this movie was the sequel we had been waiting for. ये informal education है. ये informal part है. It cannot be part of formal. This movie, which was the sequel which we had been waiting for. So again, it has ended with the preposition for. So it is an informal sentence. What can be the formal? This movie was the sequel for which we had been waiting. This is a formal sentence, right? So please understand, if a sentence is ending with a preposition, it is treated as an informal sentence. It cannot be treated as a formal one. Do you know the actor Shelley is talking about? So informal. Do you know the actor Shelley is talking about? That Shelley is talking about, again informal. Do you know the actor about whom Shelley is talking? Formal. No, that becomes whom or which, right? So these are with prepositions. अगर हम उसको adverbs के साथ use करेंगे, relative adverbs के साथ, what do we say? The adjective clauses can also start with the relative adverbs where, when, and why. They connect the dependent clause to a noun in the sentence. The relative adverb modifies the verb in the dependent clause. So वो एक verb को modify करते हैं dependent clause में. कैसे? That is the bench where you and I were supposed to meet. 6 o'clock was the time when. Relative adverb आ गया ना? We were supposed to be there. That is the reason why I could not meet you. So these are all the adjective clauses. Now, just going back to what we started off with, that adjective clause. We can use with the adjective clause a relative clause or a relative pronoun and a relative adverb, right? So we have used both the relative pronouns and the relative adverbs in this case. The next is adverb clause. Now, what is an adverb clause? Adverb. An adverbial clause is a dependent clause that functions as an adverb. So, कोई भी adverb clause जो होगी वो एक ऐसी clause होगी जो adverb की तरह ही function करेगी. That is, the entire clause modifies a verb, modifies an objective or another verb. सब किसी को ये modify करेगा. With the clauses, it contains a subject and a predicate. Though the subject as well as predicate verb may be omitted and implied. So, कितने तरह के adverb clauses होते हैं? So, clauses of time first. Common conjunctions हम कैसे use करते हैं इनके? Conjunctions answering the question when. Time कैसे express करते हो आप? When. Such as when, before, after, since, while, as long as, till, until, etc. The paired correlative conjunctions. Hardly when I went there. Hardly I have seen him. Scarcely, barely. So when, scarcely when, barely when. No sooner than. So these are the conjunctions for time. So क्या करती हैं ये clauses? When something happens by referring to a period or point of time or another event. Her goldfish died when she was young. He came after night had fallen. We barely had gotten there when mighty Casey struck out. He told us his adventures in Arctic as we went along.